Hello guys, what's up? This is Mortaza from A Coder's Journey. Welcome to the next episode of our TypeScript tutorial here at my YouTube channel. In the last video, we talked about object types, right, and tuples, which is very related to arrays. In this video, I'm gonna talk about enums, right? I've heard it pronounced as enums, enums, enumerations. I think all of them are valid, but I'm gonna stick with enum, right? So enums, in a nutshell, are a special kind of class, right, which contains some constants. So these constants, they're not supposed to be changed, right? And basically, in TypeScript, we are allowed to declare numeric enumerations and string enumerations. By default, all enums are declared as numeric enumerations. And I'm going to stick with numeric ones, and then I will also talk about string enumerations. Now, in this code file, which is called enums.ts, I want to start declaring an enum. So for declaring an enum, we're gonna use the keyword enum. Of course, you're gonna need a name for your enum. I'm gonna call mine continents because I want to store the different names for the continents that we have. So I'm gonna say Asia. I'm not very good at geography, by the way. I'm gonna say Africa. I'm gonna say Australia, right? Help me here. The next one would be America, not American, and also Europe, right? So right now I have an enum called continents with 5 values. And if I hover my mouse here, guys, you can see that TypeScript is telling me that the first one is assigned the number 0. The next one, number 1, right? Number 1. So the thing that is happening here is that TypeScript by default is assigning the 0 to the first element, and that number, that 0, is incremented by 1 for each subsequent elements. And of course, I can go on and type the first one in the console if I want. Of course, I cannot change these. I cannot say that, for example, continents.africa is 2 because, as I told you, these are constants. They're not supposed to be changed. And if I hover my mouse here, it says that cannot assign to Africa because it is read-only. It is a read-only property. So you cannot assign values to continents, to enumerations. But what you can do is to assign a value to the starting element, to the first element. So I can say that this one is not 0, this is 1. So the first element will have the value 1, the second one 2, right? So the value will increment by 1 for each subsequent elements. You can also add a specific number for each one of them. For example, you can say that this one is 101, the other one will be 250, right? And so on. The other one will be 300. Depending on your business requirements, you can assign specific numeric values to these elements. And the other one is going to be 301 and 302. Or I can go on and assign values to these as well. This is perfectly fine, right? So as you can see, I am adding different values to these different enumerations, and then I can continue working with them. So as I told you, the numeric values are assigned to these elements. So this basically means that if you, for example, console log Africa in the output, you will not get Africa, you will get 250 because behind the scenes, you are working with numbers. Now, if that's fine, no problem. But if you want to be more readable, if you want to make your code more readable, if you want to get Africa as a string literal, right, in the output, you can go and use a string enumerations. First, let me be clear. If you go this route, here in the output, you will get 0. 250, right? 250 for Africa. So a number. I told you, if that's okay with what you need, no problem. But if you want to be more meaningful, if you want to get the string Africa in the output, what you can do is to go on and declare these as we call them, string enumerations. So I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna put some The value is here. So in this case, right, I have changed my enumeration from a numeric enumeration to a string enumeration. Now, if I console log continents.africa in the output, I will get Africa, not 250. And of course, it is, it is technically possible to mix and match, string enumerations with numeric enumerations, but it is always advised against. So it is not a good idea, even though it is possible. I have told you before, if something is possible, that is a programming language, it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily use it. So even though it is perfectly fine to mix and match numeric enumerations with string ones, you're not supposed to do that, right? It is considered a bad practice. And that's it. That's all about enumerations. We're gonna, wrap up this video here. In the next video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about, interfaces. Guys, as before, if you are enjoying watching my videos, don't forget to give it a like, share it with a friend. If you've got anything to say, let me know in the comment section. And stay tuned for the next video where we will talk about interfaces. Bye-bye.